by President Freeman. The condition of the Lower Loop Road was discussed, as were the plans for the repair of the Klamath River Bridge. The club voted unanimously to support a proposal banning dogs and all other domesticated animals from all eating establishments in Siskiyou County. Because of their possible usefulness in rodent control, an exemption for cats was established.
Thank you. As I mentioned last week, we have a couple guest speakers today. Our first speaker this morning is the mayor of Port Orford, Mr. Gilbert Gable. He's been in contact with me for the past month about problems shared by the border counties in Oregon and California. He's here today to talk to us about his new proposal, and I think it's worth giving him a listen. Let's give a hearty Wairika welcome to Mayor Gilbert Gable.
Certainly my pleasure to speak to you this morning, and I appreciate all of you making the trek into town on such a chilly day. As you all know, the counties along the border of Oregon and California have always had trouble squeezing money out of the state coffers to build roads and develop our region. I've just returned as part of a three-man delegation from a visit with Governor Olson in Sacramento. I wish I had better news to report, but the situation is clearly at an impasse.
Who is this guy?
Although he seems sympathetic to our plight, he was unwilling to pledge support for increased funding for mineral development or the maintenance of roads in Northern California. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in crisis. The demand for copper, chrome, and manganese has increased dramatically in the last 5 years, and yet not one extra dollar has come our way to improve our roads, harbors, or regional railways.
Who is this guy?
He's the mayor of Port Orford.
Where the heck is that?
It's up on the coast of Oregon. His name is Gilbert Gable.
Just the man I came to see.
There is no indication from our representatives that this will change in the coming years. More and more money is being poured into Southern California while we continue to be neglected. Big corporations don't want us to develop our mineral resources so that they can keep their big profits. There's time for action.
Well, what can we do? They're the ones holding all the cards.
Yeah, they got the purse strings. If we can't pry their dirty hands loose, we're stuck.
That's right.
That's right.
It's time to take things into our own hands. The solution is to take that power away from them for good. We can govern ourselves. I am proposing that the northern counties of California and the southwestern counties of Oregon band together and form the 49th state in the Union.
49th state?
Break away from California.
Form a new state? Are you crazy?
Now hear me out. I've talked to the Board of Supervisors of Del Norte County and they agree. The economic interests of this region are very different than in the southern part of California. We will never have the population to garner the political clout necessary to get what we need. Yet we're rich in natural resources, and we certainly don't need their help to manage our resources. I am proposing that the four border counties, Curry, Del Norte, Modoc, and Siskiyou, band together and seek independence. Let's just make a clean break of it.
But this ain't the first time people have talked about secession in these parts of the state. And it ain't never gotten off the ground. The leaders always ended up getting labeled as wackos and nut jobs.
So what? We have nothing to lose. What are they going to do if we don't succeed? Withhold funding? They don't give us any to begin with.
I'm standing Delaplane.
I'm Judge John L. Childs from Crescent City in Del Norte County. I agree completely with Mayor Gable. As it stands, the revenue generated from our timber and minerals goes straight to Sacramento and never comes back. Let's keep it here in Siskiyou and Del Norte counties. There would be more than enough money to maintain our roads and develop plenty more. There are regions in Northern California and Southern Oregon with untapped bridges because we have no way of accessing them. New roads and bridges would create more jobs in the area. Everyone would benefit.
And we would win, even if we don't achieve statehood. What better way to draw attention to the unfair treatment we receive from the states? What better way to get some press coverage?
Point there.
Will you hush?
What my colleague Judge Childs and I are asking is that you join us in our quest for independence and statehood for the border counties. Add Siskiyou County to the list of counties that are sick of being treated like the ugly kid sister of Southern California. It's time for a change. What do you say?
I think we can still Mayor Gable and Judge Childs our commitment to their cause. I propose the Wairika 2030 Club should ask the county supervisors to dedicate $200 to researching the feasibility of secession and pursuing independence as the 49th state.
That would be a brave and noble gesture, Mr. Freeman.
Let's put it to a vote right now. All those in favor of pursuing independence from California, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Let the record reflect that the Wairika 2030 Club has voted to support the movement of secession from California.
It's a minor rebellion. It's a minor rebellion.
The problem is major, and we're tired of waiting when bridges are falling and costs are inflating.
It's a minor rebellion. Each man a tunneling hellion.
We'll take what's rightfully ours. Keep the prophet Sacramento ours.
Our time for change has come at last. We're the state of the future, not the land of the past.
It's a titular sedition, not an act of submission.
The solution is clear-cut as it can be. We will set them aside, even a blind man could see.
It's a timber sedition, in a frontier tradition. Skip the stories and get to the facts. Tell the governor he's getting the axe. Our time for change has come at last. We're the state of the future, not the land of the past. It's a minor rebellion. It's a minor rebellion. The problem is major, and we're tired of waiting when bridges are falling and costs are inflating.
Like an unfettered stallion, we're a blame battalion.
Don't mess with us or you'll find that we're liable to kick you behind. Our time for change has come at last. We're the state of the future. We're the state of the future. We're the state of the future, not the land of the past.
Any other old business?
Well, we ain't done with the new business. What are we going to call the new state?
Oh, that's a good question.
We could call it the Promised Land. We've been promised so much and received so little.
All right, fool's gold.
That's enough.
I got an idea. I think we've got some money left over after the 4th of July 50-50 raffle, don't we, Lowell? Let's have a contest. We'll offer a prize for the best name for the new 49th state. Say, $2 for the winning interest. That'd be a great way to generate some interest and support.
I think that's an excellent idea. Our new state will be dedicated to the proposition of a square deal for all, an unfettered freedom for all its citizens. We will abolish the state sales tax, the state income tax, and above all, the liquor tax and the 2 a.m. curfew on saloons. All expenses of the new state can be met with royalties on minerals and timber.
Talking about secession's easy, but going forward, the idea is a whole lot harder. It'll be a tough road to hoe.
It will be, but now's the time to get cracking. Let's start with something easy, something everyone can do. Let's have all the local shopkeepers and restaurant owners put a small bucket next to the till. Every time a customer makes a purchase, they can stick the pennies that would go to Sacramento as sales tax into the bucket. All money collected would go directly into the coffers of the new 49th state. If Governor Olson wants his copper, he could come up here and dig it himself.
That's a great idea, Mayor Gable. Now, let's all put on our thinking caps this week and come up with some strategies for the next meeting. Meeting adjourned.
I can see I arrived just in time.
It's not too early by my reckoning. Don't they teach any manners where you come from?
Sure do, but I can never sit still in church either.
Shall we try this again? I'm Stanton Delaplane from San Francisco.
I'm Lucy Freeman. So what brings you to this neck of the woods, Mr. Delaplane?
Well, I was dispatched by the San Francisco Chronicle to cover a story on the secession movement in Northern California. The editor of the paper caught wind of some rumblings on the northern coast, so here I am.
Yes, here you are, ready to report to the world about the half-witted barbarians in the woods of California who are taking on the glitzy moguls who run the rest of the Golden State. I'm sure you'll paint a flattering portrait of us.
You know, actually, my editor wasn't so sure that this was a newsworthy story. I had convinced him to send me up here. I'm quite fascinated with the notion of ordinary working citizens taking on the politicians from the big cities, and I think some of our readers will be too. I'm not sure if secession is the solution, but my mind is still open.
I'm sure it is.
My eyes are definitely open as well. It's a shame you're stuck out here in the boondocks. You ever been to San Francisco?
Once, when I was 6 years old. All I remember is that I was car sick the whole way. It wasn't a pretty picture, so my memory of that place isn't so rosy.
You should come and see it. It's a city of lights, a city of excitement. I could show you around sometime.
Thanks, but no thanks. I have quite enough excitement here in Remick. And I think my boyfriend Lester might have something to say about
Just thought I would offer. If you ever reconsider,
You'll be the first to know. But don't hold your breath. Although, I doubt you could do that for very long, even if you tried.
Yes, I have so much hot air and so little time. Good day, Miss Freeman.
And good day to you, Mr. Delaplane.
Who's that young fellow, Lucy?
Some reporter from San Francisco.
Really? That could be a stroke of luck for us.
If he's our idea of a stroke of good luck, we're in serious trouble.
Oh, Lucy. Blessings come in all different forms. How many times have I said never look a gift horse in the meadows?
That's what they said in Troy. Look where it got him.
Quite true, young lady. I don't believe we've been formally introduced.
I'm sorry, Mayor Gable. This is my daughter, Lucy.
I've heard so much about you, sir. It's an honor to finally meet you.
The pleasure's mine.
Good morning, Herbert.
Morning, Margaret.
And you too, Mr. Mayor.
Herb, you didn't tell me why Rika was filled with so many attractive women.
It's so wonderful for you to take the time to speak to us here in the Siskiyou County. Well, we rarely have outside politicians come here, let alone have one that speaks to the town folk.
That's exactly why I'm here. Politicians down south never travel to these parts to see the problems we face and listen to the voters. I may be just a hick mayor from a little hick town, but I think we can do a better job of governing this area than those pointy-headed politicians down south. We could develop the resources, develop the roads and the ports, and create more jobs with better wages for all our citizens. And to do that, the northern counties of California and the southern counties of Oregon have got to band together. Siskiyou County is the hub of this area. We're going to need all your citizens to be on board if we're going to be successful in breaking the ties and forming a new state.
You can count on us, Mayor Gable.
Glad to hear it. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
My, he's very forceful.
He's the fellow driving this new secession movement, and I think he's got half a chance of pulling it off.
He seems like a man who gets things done.
Well, I sure hope so.
Are you going to be in the store later today?
I'll be in and out most of the afternoon. I've got a shipment of hand tools coming in sometime this afternoon that I'll need to pick up, but Lucy should be around.
Well, I was going to run an apple pie over if you were going to be around. I just baked it this morning.
How could I refuse one of your apple pies, Margaret? You know they're my favorite.
I'll stop by around 2.
That'd be fine. I look forward to seeing you.
And I you. Goodbye, Herbert.
Bye, Margaret.
Dad, isn't that the third pie she's bought you in the last 2 weeks?
Lucy, no matter how old a man gets, he can never have too much pie.
I suppose you're right about that.
Well, there's my girl.
Well, hello there, stranger. I'm mad at you. In your telegram, you said you'd be back in town on Tuesday. planned and everything. When did you get back to Eureka?
Late last night. I would have been here sooner, but my folks needed a hand with a couple of chores around their place this
I
morning.
was sure you'd show up here all decked out, showing off your 50 new uniform today.
And my new bars. I received my new commission to first lieutenant.
Welcome back to God's country, Lieutenant Todd.
Oh, and that's Lieutenant Todd, sir.
Yes, sir. By the way, Lieutenant Todd, sir.
Yes.
You are looking remarkably tan for a young guy who wrote and told me how he had no time for anything else but hitting the books and sitting in a cockpit. The Florida sun must really agree with you. I imagine you met a bronze beauty or two that was looking to snag an eligible young officer.
Not a chance. It was all business on the base, and Pensacola is not my idea of a good time. It's the hottest, muggiest place on the earth, and besides, I wasn't interested in meeting other women. I was too busy thinking about one a little closer to home.
Oh, who might that be? I'll bet it was that Jennings girl you met down in Weed.
Now don't be ridiculous. Oranges taste great to me, and grapefruit are quite savory, but the sweetest tree doesn't sweep from a tree. She was grown right here in the great Northwest, sheltered by tall Douglas fir, nourished by the berries there. No girls in the world will ever compare to the one that I left behind. Southern beaches are warm and fine, where tourists bake as they recline, but the warmest smile called rain or shine is shown right here in the great Northwest.
Temple beauties wander by and do their best to catch your eye.
Miami poets can only try, but I'll stay with my gold rush girl. Oranges taste great to me, and grapefruit are quite savory, but the sweetest tree doesn't swing from a tree. She was grown right here in the great Northwest.
Well, you don't seem to want to stay too long with your gold rush girl. You come home and you turn around and leave again.
Oh, come on, it's only temporary until I get a permanent assignment. But it's funny. I mean, this time I come home and the place is in a complete uproar. It's unbelievable. I mean, the whole town is buzzing about this morning's meeting of the county supervisors. Are they really going to push for us to secede from California?
Yep. The Daily News even offered to sponsor a contest to pick a name for the new state. The name should convey the idea of a land of plenty, vast resources, or something else connected directly with the region involved. It sounds like Modoc County may join the movement too.
Do you really think that a bunch of miners and lumberjacks could manage an entire state?
Better than a bunch of shiftless entertainers and movie stars. You sound as bad as they do. Listen to this. The northern border counties barter only in bear claws and eagle speaks. Some guy actually said that from the floor of the state assembly.
Well, I wish it were true. We'd be a lot richer than them. I mean, there are plenty of bear around here.
I can't believe that people so ignorant are supposed to be representing our interests. We'll be a lot better off without them. So, you're going to take off on Friday?
Oh, yeah.
Why so soon?
I don't know, but there's a rumor going around that we're going to be shipped out to Hawaii, but it's not for sure.
Well, that's one way of getting out of the rain. Join the Navy and enjoy the sunshine and pineapples.
See, I told you enlisting wasn't such a bad idea. Uncle Sam needs us all to do our part.
Yeah, but you could have done your part for the war effort right here. The country needs our minerals. And if you all become soldiers, no one will be around to get them out of the ground.
So, I should have just stayed home and worked in the copper mines while others fight the Nazis? No thanks.
Just make sure you come back in one piece. Stay in Hawaii. It's getting safe.
Any place is better than being stuck here for the rest of my life. I mean, ever since we were kids, we've talked about getting out of here.
I know, but when you first left town, it didn't seem so bad. Because you were stationed in Oakland, and you could come home on leave every once in a while. But Pensacola was so far away.
Yeah, but I'm a full-fledged pilot and naval officer now. I have a career that could take us anywhere.
Right now, I hope it'll take you home when all the fighting's over.
Gus told me that you were sitting next to some stranger at the meeting this morning.
Yeah, some squirrely reporter from San Francisco who's here to cover the movement to form a new state.
Well, make sure that's the only thing he tries to cover, or I'll have to give him a taste of local color he won't soon forget.
Don't worry, he's harmless enough. He's one of those guys who loves to hear himself talk and figures that everyone else loves to hear him too.
Well, make sure that's the only thing he's in love with. If he's thinking about sweet talking to you, he's going to have to answer to me. I told Roy and Don that I would meet them at the billiard parlor at 3, but maybe you want to get together later tonight? You know, taking a movie?
Sure, sounds good to me.
Okay. Hey, well, I'd better be going.
Have fun. Say hi to the boys with me. I'll see you after work.
Hi there. I'm Stanton Delaplane from the San Francisco Chronicle.
So I've heard.
Whoa. Hospitality's running a little thin here today. Is that the greeting all your customers get?
Oh, never mind him. That's Lester. He can be a little possessive, especially if he thinks the guy seems to be in the hunt.
So I see it. Does that mean I'm in the hunt?
Not if you're thinking about tracking me. So what brings you by the shop? A shortage of manure for your paper?
No.
We got plenty of that around here.
I've shoveled enough for one day. I just wired my story to the Chronicle. The editor loves it. He plans to run on the front page this Sunday. If your boys want to make a splash, this should help.
Sure. Just don't make us the laughing stock of the state.
Don't worry, you'll like it. I'll show you the article when they print it. You know, I think you have a very legitimate grievance up here. Well, I think I might be able to be of assistance.
Well, that's a nice offer, but I think we can handle it ourselves.
No, seriously. Declaring your independence is one thing. Making it credible and sustaining the movement long enough to make some impact is quite another. You have to constantly think of new and provocative ways of getting the word out. Events that will stir sympathy in some average Joe in some big city sitting in his living room reading the funny papers. It's tricky.
And I suppose tricky is right up your alley.
You bet.
Lucy? Is that Lower Park for Harold John Deere arrived yet? It was supposed to be here this morning. Well, hello, City Slicker. Didn't take you long to find the most scenic site in the northern counties.
You're right there, but actually I came by to see you.
Oh, really? Get yourself a room at the Clearing?
Yes, sir. It's a very nice room. No, and I was pleasantly surprised when the lights in the town didn't dim when I turned on my electric razor.
From your behavior this morning, I figured you weren't old enough to be shaving in the first place.
Don't pay any attention to her. Growing up around miners and woodsmen toughens your hide, sharpens your tongue, even if you're a young lady.
But rudeness becomes her.
Well, it's different here than it is in the big city. It's a rugged country, filled with rugged people.
So I've noticed.
You're genuine frontier stock. Descendants from 49ers. When there's a problem around here, people take care of things themselves. They don't like outsiders meddling in their business, especially when it comes to money.
How do you mean?
Well, men earn their money the hard way. Mining and logging is dirty, dangerous work, and they sure aren't paid much for their labors. So when someone tries to take it away from them, men around here can get pretty agitated. They'll deal with things their own way, take the law into their own hands.
Yeah. About 5 years ago, foreman got lynched while they were locked within the county jail.
No kidding.
Yep. The sheriff didn't mind. It was cheaper than feeding them.
Well, it really isn't any different than it is in the big city. Money's behind everything. Do you think that big fancy paper of yours cares about us? Not a chance. They see dollar signs. If they think they can make a buck off our story, you bet they will. That's the only reason they let you come all the way up here. It's purely a matter of economics, the conflict of problem that money can't fix. A penny for your thoughts, but a few bucks will buy you a soul. Why sell it for bark when the narrow will get you the whole? When it's time to buy, any man might think twice. When it's time to sell, every man has a price. Don't look for illusions or tricks. When it's purely a matter of economics. You can steal a man's car, and you'll wind up in a cell.
You can steal a girl's kiss, and she's liable to tell.
You can steal a man's wife, and he'll probably wish you well.
But you should steal a man's wallet, and he's going to fight like hell.
It's purely a matter of economics. Forget all the emotion, money makes the heart tick.
When the rent is overdue, the landlord will wait to be paid.
There's work to be done, it is money that waits to be made.
They say a penny that's saved is a penny earned. But to be a success, you'll need cash to burn. When you see you're out in the sticks, it is purely a matter of economics.
It's purely a matter of economics. No conflict or problem that money can't fix. A penny for your thoughts, but a few bucks will buy you a soul.
Why settle for part when the narrow will get you the whole?
When it's time to buy, any man might think twice. When it's time to sell, every man has his price. Don't look for illusions or tricks. When it's purely a matter of economics.
It's purely a matter of economics.
It's purely a matter of economics.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon to you, Caesar.
Hi, Caesar.
Why, Miss Lucy, you look lovely today, as usual.
Oh, I'm sure, Caesar. I was at my best when I'm standing between the dog towel and the pruning shears.
You should come by and see me more often. It would make me so happy to see your writing face in my gloves on evenings.
Thanks, Caesar, but I think I'll pass. Besides, most of the girls in your club show a lot more than their radiant faces. I feel overdressed.
You're such a heater. Herbert, you're Lucy's one hot pistola. And you are?
I'm sorry, Caesar. This is Stanton Delaplane, a reporter from the San Francisco Chronicle. Stanton, this is Caesar Luigi, owner of the Rex Club right around the corner.
Yep. We are the finest establishment west of the Mississippi. Every night we feature some of the San Francisco's best talent.
I can imagine.
Come by and you'll see.
I may just do that. Sounds like business must be pretty good.
Business is always good. When people are happy, they come to celebrate. When people are sad, they come and we cheer them up. Now that alcohol is legal, people drink a lot. When alcohol was illegal, then really people drink a lot. It is, how do you say, a lucrative business.
I suppose that's true.
Economics at its best. What can we do for you, Caesar?
I'm here to pick up in your room. The janitor set fire on my last one this morning.
Oh, I see. Well, we have a large selection in the back behind the trash cans. Pick one out and I'll ring it up for you.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
Oh, goodbye, Miss Lucy.
Ciao, Caesar.
So, if it's economics that drives people's interests, will it be enough to get them to stand behind your secession movement?
I don't know.
Neither do I. But I'll give it some thought. See if I can come up with a strategy that will draw some attention to your little corner of the world.
2030 Club and the Siskiyou Daily News would like to welcome you to our first Town Hall meeting. We're here today to discuss plans to form the new 49th state in the Union. Recent events have brought us to the momentous decision to cut ties with the states of California and Oregon. These states have established policies that are not in the best interest of the citizens of the coastal counties. We are prepared today to move forward with secession and the establishment of the new state. We are also prepared today to announce the name of the new state. Mayor Gable, I'd like to give you the honor.
Thank you, Herb. It gives me great pride to announce the winner of our Name Your State contest. The winner is Mr. J.E. Mundell of Eureka and He submitted the winning name, Jefferson. Mr. Mundell reasoned that Thomas Jefferson was the author of the Declaration of Independence. He was the president who acquired this great land through the Louisiana Purchase, and he had the foresight to dispatch the Lewis and Clark expedition to explore this part of the country. Congratulations to Mr. Mundell for his fine submission. Let's have a round of applause from the citizens of the 49th state in the Union, Jefferson.
Well, I still like bonanza the best.
Bonanza.
We would also like to announce the establishment of the Jefferson Citizens Committee. This will be the committee that employs all of the plans and policies for the state of Jefferson until our statehood is officially recognized.
Well, how are we going to get people to recognize our new state? We give them this proclamation, and then the rest of the world can just go on and ignore us.
He's right.
We ain't no better off than we were before.
Let's just quit paying our taxes. That'll get their attention.
Well, that'll get us thrown in jail, shooting.
Not if we all do it. May I speak?
The floor is yours.
Well, for those of you who haven't met me, I'm Stanton Delaplane from the San Francisco Chronicle. Now, I've been traveling around the county for the past few days, speaking with folks about how unresponsive the legislature has been, and concerns about seceding from California. Well, I have a few ideas that might help.
We're all ears.
Okay, now correct me if I'm wrong, but Highway 99 is really the only way for a motorist to travel from San Francisco to Portland. Any other route is virtually impassable, right?
Unless you're in a Jeep.
Or on a donkey.
Now, I propose that we set up a blockade. What? Now, not to prevent people from completing their journey, but pass out pamphlets and bumper stickers recognizing the state of Jefferson. We could list the reasons for secession and the policies of the new state. We can also ask for some sort of a symbolic gesture in support of our cause.
Such as?
Now, I was speaking with a man east of here who was complaining that there was no government support to develop a local copper mine.
That's true.
Now, let's ask the motorists to withhold their 1 penny sales tax in protest as a show of support for the 49th state.
But how can we hope to effectively block Highway 99? There's traffic on that road 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We couldn't possibly come up with the manpower to operate a blockade.
Nor would we need to. We can pick one day a week to operate the blockade, a weekday, so we can catch more of the business and commercial traffic. We'll put up billboards on the northern border of Siskiyou County. We'll stop all vehicles, give them our pamphlets, and allow them to proceed on up the road. It's disruptive enough to grab their attention, but it's not violent or too aggressive. Otherwise, Governor Olson might feel like he had to send in troops to break it up. True. I mean, I could call some major news organizations. They'll eat this stuff up.
I think this has potential.
Mr. Delaplane, you just might have an idea.
We could have secession Thursday. Most of us could rearrange our schedules for one day a week to pull a shift on a blockade. We could start this week.
We could also have a big Independence Day rally, a celebration to solidify local support and create a splash big enough for the outside world to see.
Let's shoot for December 6th. That'll give Mr. Delaplane time enough to contact his newspaper friends and give us enough time to prepare for the celebration.
But if we're creating a new state, don't we need to create some sort of official governing body, a senate or a governor or something like that?
Absolutely. I propose that we set the first meeting for the Provisional Territorial Assembly for next Wednesday. We'll create a temporary legislative body with pro tem officials. If the coastal counties combine together, the states will have to listen. Unity. To get the job done, we gotta have unity. We all must pull together. All hands must grip the leather. The crisis we can weather with a show of unity. To keep our freedom, we gotta have unity. It's basic to success. Move forward or regress. It's chaos and a mess without a show of unity. For everyone a job is found. Let everyone be duty bound. And everyone must stand their ground when opposition lurks around. Most every turn and every inch we gain's an inch that we must earn. What history can teach to us, we all must learn. Unity. To get the war won, we gotta show unity. The conflict will be heated, but we won't be defeated. Now what is really needed is a show of unity. For everyone a job is bound. Let everyone be duty bound. And everyone must stand their ground when opposition lurks around. Most every turn and every inch we gain that inch that we must earn. What history can teach to us, we all must learn. Unity. To get the job done, we gotta have unity. We all must pull together. All hands must grip the lever. The crisis we can weather with a show of unity.
Like we're running a bit low on kerosene.
Well, it's the season. Folks must be anticipating a cold winter.
People are buying it hand over fist. I can't even keep it on the shelf.
Well, I'll order more in the morning. Hello, Sam.
Hi there, Herb.
Well, we sure got things rolling today, didn't we?
I'll say, I've been at Western Union all afternoon. Both Time and Life magazines are going to cover the rally, and at least 5 newsreel services will be on hand, too.
That's great, Stan. And your idea of the blockade was brilliant.
Tomorrow will be the first of many Secession Thursdays. We're already filling a list of volunteers to man the posts and pass out the pamphlets.
Do you need another volunteer for the morning slot? I think I can talk my boss into giving me the time off.
I think I could man the fort for a couple hours. And I'd be happy to pull a shift on the blockade in the evening if you could use another hand on deck.
We can use all the hands we can get. If we're going to get this thing off the ground, it's going to take a lot of commitment from a lot of people.
Sam, we're lucky to have you here to help us out. It's easy to see a problem, but it takes imagination to see a solution. By the way, how'd you like to swing by the house tonight for dinner? I'll bet you're sick of eating at that diner, and Lucy cooks a mean pot roast.
Well, that's a very nice invitation, Herb. I'd be delighted to come. On the other hand, Mary, I'd better give it some thought. A mean pot roast sounds like a scary prospect.
You better hope it's not too tough. You may have to defend yourself.
So we'll see you tonight by 7?
I'll be there.
Well, time I got back to work. I got a couple of pallets of fertilizer I need to pick up down at the depot. I should be back in about an hour.
Do you need any help? Lester could ride along.
No, I think I got it handled.
Also, are you remembering that Margaret's 50th birthday is the day after tomorrow?
Oh, how could I forget?
Do you have anything special planned? She's probably expecting a big wing day.
Oh, no, I doubt it. I think she'd probably prefer a quiet evening together.
I think you're right, Dad.
Yep, I'll be back in about an hour.
See you in a bit. Can you hand me that rag over there? Something spilled under the counter.
Your father seems to be quite partial to Margaret.
I should say so. They'll come up with any excuse to spend time together.
You seem to really like that reporter from San Francisco.
Yeah, he's turned out to be an okay guy.
I think brilliant were your exact words.
Now don't get your nose all bent out of shape. He's all right, and I'm glad he's here to help us out. It's good timing.
Yeah, well, for you maybe, but I'm shipping out tomorrow. I'm going straight to Hawaii.
So soon? I thought you were going to be here for another week.
Nope. It's going to be my last night in town, and my girl's going to be having dinner with some other guy.
Lester, that's ridiculous. You know you're invited too.
It won't be the same. I wanted to have some time alone with you tonight, but you seem to be more interested in that guy.
That's just nonsense. I barely know the man. And if I was looking for another man, I can tell already he's not my type.
Wait, so you are thinking about...
Now just hold on.
What, even before I leave town, you're checking out the available replacements?
That's enough, Lester. I'm not going to fight with you about this.
Right, well, neither am I. You can forget about me coming to dinner. I'll leave you and the brilliant Mr. Delaplane to yourselves.
Fine. If you can't behave like an adult, I don't want you to come over. Maybe you can grow up a little while in Hawaii. Maybe a falling coconut will knock some sense into your thick skull.
Oh, hi, Lucy. I just happened to be passing by and thought I'd see if your father was in.
No, you just missed him. He's headed over to the depot to pick up some fertilizer.
Oh, well, it's too bad I didn't get here sooner. But I can talk to him later. You know, I ran into Lester a minute ago as he was leaving the store, and, well, I haven't seen him since he's been back. But, well, you know, he looked pretty tense, like he had a lot on his mind.
I'm sure he does. But of course, anything would seem like a lot when you have a mind as small as his.
I guess you two had a little tiff.
I just don't understand him. Things were just fine. Then one day he runs off and joins the Navy. Now I see him once in a blue moon. And when he does come to town, he acts like I'm the one who isn't serious about our relationship.
Men sometimes have a funny way of thinking they can gallivant across the country, chasing whatever notion pops into their head, and expect that we'll quietly wait for them, all the while twiddling our thumbs and not getting on with our lives.
Yeah? Well, I'm sick of it. Sometimes men are more trouble than they're worth. It's hell when he's gone, and it's hell to have him around. Why in the hell do I even bother with him?
We
because Redwood South belongs to me.
Caesar!
They call her Redwood South. She's a redheaded, red-blooded dog-is gal.
A host of men, smile attracts. When she's swinging her hips, when she's swinging an axe.
She's Redwood South. Just a black shirt, good-hearted woodsman's pal. Lots of guys may want to get cozy, but the future is not so rosy. Because Redwood South has chosen me. Redwood South has chosen me.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Whoa.
You seem to be in a very festive mood tonight.
Yes, sir, Mr. Delaplane. It's a mighty fine evening.
They call me Stan. Looks like three of you got an early start on the celebration.
Yep. After the meeting, it's too late for me and Gus to drive into the woods to work. We didn't want to stiffen up from taking the day off, so we wandered over to the Rex Club just to make sure we stayed good and oily.
Say, for a city slicker, you sure look like you've bent your arm a few times.
Sure have. In fact, I joined you tonight, but I'm heading over to Herb's for dinner.
Lucy's cooking? Well, son, you're a lucky man.
Say, you're not thinking about getting lucky with Lucy,
No, Gus, the only thing on the menu tonight will be pot roast.
Oh, that's too bad. She's quite the looker.
She is indeed, but she seems to be only looking at Lester, which is fine by me. She's still a nice kid.
And nice to look at.
Yeah, that too.
Chicken sure cooked. Fine pot roast.
Oh yeah, so I've heard. I'll let you know tomorrow.
Hey, you guys.
Whoa.
Don't run off so soon.
Caesar,
You haven't paid yet for the last one you ordered. You still owe me a bucket to beat.
We weren't leaving, Caesar. We were just getting a little fresh air.
Yeah.
We was coming right back.
Yeah.
You better be. Oh, good evening, Mr. Delaplane. Are you going to drop by the restaurant tonight? We are the finest establishment in Western Mississippi.
Not tonight. I have other plans, but I will take a rain check.
A rain check?
Mr. Luigi! Mr. Luigi!
Oh, what is it now?
We just blew our fourth keg tonight, and Misty can't get a tap on the new one.
All right, I'm coming. Mechanical things are not the biggest stalling for some of the girls.
I don't imagine it's an important qualification in their line of work. Well, boys, it's time for me to be off.
Us too. Our stools at the Rex are gonna get cold if we don't hurry.
yeah, and old Caesar's gonna blow his cap if we don't pay for that last round.
Stay out of trouble tonight, boys.
See you around, Stan. Enjoy that pot roast.
You know, wherever you go, you always manage to find some very interesting neighbors. You know, those three aren't too bad, though. I might want to keep them away from an open flame. That Lester's a piece of work, though. You know, he and Lucy have absolutely nothing in common, yet he still wants her, and she wants him, I suppose. But they're not looking for companionship. It's more like acquiring property. You know, I'm sure Lester's done a bit of shopping around, but still comes back to the first dress he saw on the rack. Lucy's pickings are a lot slimmer, though. No selection around here at all. Lots of drunken miners and loggers and, well, then there's Lester. May not be the greatest catch in the world, but what other choice is there? Look at Herb and Margaret. They're so considerate of each other now. Wait until they tie the knot. How many pies is she going to bake him 2 years from now? It's like buying a car. Start out washing it every day. But all that polishing ends the day you put the first ding in the fender. It's not a new refrain to measure loss and gain by what we have in our hands, Only a need to have more material thirst, a desire to be first, always brings out the worst of our demons that scream to keep score. Possession is all that we crave. Possession, it's what's yours and what's mine. All fortune and fame comes at a cost. The baggage you claim will soon be lost. They say that love is blind, but what you really find is love looks more than it feels. Instead of affection, we seek imperfection. Any weakness your lover reveals. The wedding bells that ring toll like the stock exchange. Don't say I do, say I own. To have and to hold means corralled and controlled. It's your freedom that's sold, but you're bankrupt if you're left alone. Possession is all that we crave. Possession, won't you tell me what's mine? Possession, please tell me what's mine.